Happy midweek update to you, Wilshire. I am fresh off my sabbatical, feeling reconnected, maybe not rested, but reconnected to my family and to nature and to my spiritual being. So thank you for valuing your staff in the ways in which you do and granting that time away for me. Really appreciate that. Just a quick note, this will be the last midweek update report brought to you in this type of formatting. We are going to move and transition back into our weekly Wednesday noon Bible study in the sanctuary that will also be live streamed and on our YouTube channel if you cannot attend in person. I want to thank Darren and the residents and Mark McKenzie for all of the work that they've done and put into this midweek update and leading us through those times of reflection this past year. What an awesome way for us to connect. Summer's coming. You know that very well, which means we have some really amazing dates and programs planned for our children and our youth. And we hope that you will register for those. You can look at our registration page and sign up. We missed out on having a lot of these events last summer, and so we are making up for it this year, and we're super excited to have your children with us again. So make some space on your calendars and save the date. And lastly, we look forward to seeing you June 6th. I heard that we're looking to regather, and I am excited about that and hope you are too. So details are to come. We're still busily asking lots of questions and figuring out the answers, but just know that we're preparing our building and we're getting everything ready to have your physical presence in our sanctuary again. What a joy that day will be. You can find more information as we continue to update it on our website. We have a regathering page that you can access for that, and you can look out for the tapestry. We'll have more information as well. So, Wilshire, thank you as always for being a church that values connection and engagement, and we look forward to doing more of that with you in the upcoming days. Be blessed.
Our final prayer posture to close this series of blessings is a benediction posture. So if you have a minute, put your phone down and try this with me. Raise both of your hands up. This is something that clergy often do, and it might feel strange, but just try it. What does it feel like to have your hands outstretched towards what is out there, beyond you? Notice that. Sit with it. We are blessed to be a blessing. And so today, as we hear this final reflection with Ashley and we hear another story of blessing, take this knowledge with you. Maybe don't go raising your hands around people, or do, whatever floats your boat. Maybe live your life, speak words, embody a blessing for someone else. Let's reflect together.
May your peace be an anchor in the stormy tide. May your hope run like a river that will never run dry. And may your burdens grow light and your worries subside. This is my prayer for you. May your soul grow deep and your joy run wild. May your heart know the face of mercy, his smile. May your faith come to let you believe like a child. This is my prayer for you. This is my prayer for you.
A reading from Proverbs 31, verses 10 through 31. A capable wife who can find? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like the ships of the merchant, and she brings her food from far away. She rises while it is still night and provides food for her household and tasks for her servant girls. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hands, she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She opens her hand to the poor and reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid for her household when it snows, for all her household are clothed in crimson. She makes herself coverings. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the city gates, taking his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them. She supplies the merchant with sashes. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her happy. Her husband too, and he praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her a share in the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the city gates. Well, friends, if this word from the book of wisdom is to be a checklist of a woman, I have failed about 3 verses in. Never have I ever provided food for my household from far away, nor do I intend to. And if we are looking at this list of attributes as a to-do list, even if we see it as a hyperbole, we will all fail. We have seen talks of Proverbs 31, the Proverbs 31 woman, in many places. We have seen these verses etched on art pieces. They have been preached about in Mother's Day sermons. Who is the Proverbs 31 woman? The truth is that the perfect one does not exist. And that is at the crux of this wisdom text here today. So that part makes me breathe a little bit easier, that I don't have to fall into this to-do list. I can just breathe and just be. But what are we to do with this text? This text that has been used as a to-do list, as a measuring stick for so many. What are we to do with this when so many of us compare ourselves and others around us to this example? Will Gaffney, professor of Hebrew Bible, says this: this descriptive rhetoric culminates at the end. What makes a woman of warrior strength? It reveals that other women have demonstrated parts of this, yes. But what gives this woman her strength is her commitment to knowing and fearing the Lord. To be known and to know the Lord. That I think I can do. That is something I feel like I can put on a to-do list a little bit easier. But how, you might ask, because there's still some questions around that. How in the world do we know the Lord? How can we be known by God and by each other? Is it possible? Can we still measure up to this very great task of knowing and being known by God? My short answer is yes. The longer answer is that it does take some work. And instead of a to-do list, it is more of a daily practice, a daily knowing. And so what I found was some words from Sarah Bessey that helped me find a rhythm of knowing. I found this in her benediction from her recent book, A Rhythm of Prayer. Sarah Bessey writes this about moments in our days where we can find ways to know and be known by God. We are grateful for mostly every moment that brought us here to you. Help us to sink down into your love, to push our roots down into that marvelous love, and be planted within your power and grace as we practice loving this world as you have loved this world. May we laugh harder because we have learned to let ourselves weep with you. May we see and know and name beauty because we have learned to bring the ugliness to you. Surprise us and startle us. We're open to all the weird ways you want to speak in us and to us and through us. May we be peacemakers, joy bringers, truth tellers, status quo disruptors, wanderers, wanderers, and misfits to our time, who never settle for the sit down and shut up life, but rise up in your she who the sun sets free is free indeed, birthright of freedom. May we find in our lives this rhythm of knowing and being known by God. Amen.
Thank you for being with us for this final installment of our series on blessings. We'll be taking a break from these midweek videos for the summer, so we invite you to join us for in-person Bible study each Wednesday at noon in the sanctuary. Those will be live streamed as well as archived on our YouTube page so that you can watch them at your convenience. Now as you go, may you trust in God's promises, even when they are difficult to believe. May you know that God's news is good news, even when people tell you that it isn't. And when you encounter doubt, may it strengthen your belief and lead you into God's perfect wisdom and counsel.